Hello, everyone. Krystal Bellamy with Conversations with Finding Your Road Home. And today, our conversation is part 2 of a 4-part series. I'm here with my friend Terri Good from Infinite Synergy Wellness. And we're so excited to give you this November programming to kind of help keep the momentum going from everything you've built this year as we move into January. Right, Terri? Aren't you excited too?
Yes, I love it. I love the idea of having momentum going into January as opposed to trying to turn that train around.
Absolutely.
And just get going, right? Yeah, trying to muscle through it. So,
yep.
So hopefully these prompts will help you guys.
Agreed. So last week we talked about letting go, and our prompt was all around that. And hopefully you had great fun with our Instagram posts and our examples of letting go. I know that we had fun going out and doing those. So this week we want to talk about double dog dare and leaving our comfort zone. And anyway, that's what we want to talk about. But I want to also challenge you. Maybe it's not necessarily leaving our comfort zone. Maybe it's expanding our comfort zone, if that makes you feel a little more comfortable.
I like that. I like both ways. Yeah. They say true growth happens outside of your comfort zone. Like, if we just keep doing the same things we're always doing, then we don't grow. Like, you start a workout program. I'm always going to be talking about working out. That's my thing. If you start a workout program and at first you're really sore from it, and after you do that for about 3 or 4 weeks, you keep using the exact same weights and moving the exact same way, you won't be sore. Not that soreness is always an indicator. You'll maintain your growth, but you're not going to grow beyond that, right? Like, it's going to be, you'll be in maintenance there. And it's good to be in maintenance sometimes, but it's also kind of fun and exhilarating to try something new or something, something that's just a little scary. And then, like, even if you fail, it's like, at least I did it. Who cares?
Oh, yeah, because, so you cross that line, you try that thing. If it didn't work, it wasn't comfortable, guess what? I can step right back over that comfort zone line and be where I feel safe again. It's not going anywhere. So what does it hurt to, I love stepping out of my, as crazy as it is, when I was a kid, I was pretty chicken and pretty introverted about certain things. But I think kind of once I got out of that shadow of my parents, I realized how fun it was to go out there and just try new things and step out of my comfort zone. I've gone skydiving. Like, I love.
I didn't know that. You've done skydiving. That's fun.
Yes, I have a video. Because of course, so John went first, and he went with buddies, and then he was like, "Oh, you've got to go." And so it actually for me was a great reward. It was a reward for me. So you had to be a certain weight to be able to skydive, and because it's tandem, and so you can't exceed a certain amount of weight, and the person on your back is a certain amount of weight. So you have to be under 200 pounds. And I was struggling with losing weight from having Dylan, my last, and this was a really awesome incentive. And so
that's very cool.
I pushed myself to get under that mark. And when I got under that mark, we scheduled the appointment. The whole family went, like, they were all there watching me come. It was so cool. So if I splatted to my death, everybody was going to be there to see it. But it was just awesome. And the thing is I went back again. So
that's
I went twice. I had a friend who had skydiving gear that lived in my neighborhood. And so she's like, "Hey, you want to go?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'll go anytime you want to go. If I can get out of the house and go." Yeah.
That is amazing. So you did it not once, but twice. So you may be a little crazy. I like it. I like it crazy.
I like to be in the air. It's just an air thing. Airheaded.
So other ideas of stepping outside of your comfort zone, you don't have to jump out of an airplane.
No, you don't.
Like Krystal did. But there's lots of different ways. That's very, very, very extreme. And so most people aren't probably going to do that, but maybe that tricks your trigger. That's pretty cool. But there's lots and lots of ways to step outside your comfort zone. It could be singing karaoke. You know, it could be like think about that. I mean, to me, that feels a little scary, especially doing it by myself. But I also realize that I'm in my own head when I think about that, because
Totally.
when you go to karaoke, or maybe you never do, but not that I do either, but every once in a while, you know, you're exposed to it. How many people sound good doing karaoke? Like there's usually one person that really can sing that shows up, but everybody else sucks. And it's fine. It's fun. Exactly. It's fun to let go. It's fun to use your voice. It's fun to just go out and be free. And it's okay not to hit all the notes correctly.
Agreed.
Okay,
and I just feel like people are going to have an opportunity to go out and do karaoke this holiday season. I don't know why. I just have this crazy feeling. And it may not be that they're going out and doing it. It may be that they have a karaoke machine in their house and their kids have always been doing it and they've never done it. And so all of a sudden they're like, you know what? I'm going to do this with the kids when all their friends are over. Like, who cares? I'm just going to make a fool of myself. Because you know what? They're kids. They don't care. And their friends are actually going to think you're way more cool because you were willing to do that. Dude, did you see Tony's mom? Like, she was so willing to just, like, she was crazy. Like, she
committed. She committed. That's funny. And be ready. Be ready for maybe a person who isn't happy, who is carrying around their own limited beliefs, who might have a not so nice comment. And it doesn't have to be this. You guys are not saying you have to do karaoke. We're saying it is an example. You think of what it is that scares you, what it is that
cleaning your closet.
But be ready for the naysayers.
Yeah.
Because naysayers are bringing along their old limiting beliefs and they're projecting them onto you. And that brings us to next month or next week's, which is creating spiritual or energetic boundaries, you know, knowing whose crap that is. That's their crap, not yours. So when you hear it, or when you hear someone, a naysayer, when you're stepping out of your comfort zone, you bless them, you say thank you, because they're reminding you that they and you, we all have this baggage that we carry around. And that we want to be able to turn that fear into love and light. And this is you turning it into love and light, right? You don't have to consume whatever someone's throwing at it, right? We don't have to consume that. We can create our own energy around that. And so stepping outside of your comfort zone, it could look like writing and journaling. Like Krystal might journal about when she's proud of herself that she was going to work at losing weight, and making her goal there, and how freeing it was to jump out of the airplane. So she might journal about that, but then also do something outside of her comfort zone. So you have a journal prompt, and then like do something. And we are going to be posting this week on some fun things that are helping us step outside of our comfort zone.
Absolutely.
Got some fun stuff lined up.
And feel free, like, so think about journaling this week, especially. Think about journaling a little bit different. Journaling does not have to be about writing down on paper. Journaling is about words and getting them out of your head. It doesn't matter how you do that. Maybe it's you record a video. You don't have to post it anywhere. Nobody needs to see it, but everybody has a camera on their phone and they can record a video of themselves doing the fun thing or talking about how they felt about doing the fun thing. But just kind of triggering yourself to do, maybe not trigger, that's not the right word, igniting yourself to do something a little bit different. And again, stepping out of that comfort zone. You don't have to share it. It doesn't need to be on TikTok or Instagram Reels or any of that stuff like Terri and I are going to do because we're crazy.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're doing it because we think it's funny.
And we want to have a good time. But yeah.
Reflection. We're really just reflecting and processing, right? And so another way that you can journal without sitting down and writing is you can do what Krystal and I do almost every day. We go on afternoon walks, we get on the phone, and we just talk. We externally process. And I got to tell you, sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Why did I say that? And I think you're walking around with that thought in your head. And so external processing is a good thing. Like, but doing it with someone that you feel safe doing it with, that you know isn't going to judge you, and also being a good listener if you're with your friend, you know, being a good listener, not judging your friend, but having a judgment-free zone. And for us, it's a win-win because we both do better when we walk. So walking and talking helps us process. We're basically like Steve Jobs.
Yeah. And I will tell
kidding.
you that us doing that, I mean, we're practicing, we're flexing this muscle because I don't know about you, it's not comfortable sharing the things. It's not always comfortable sharing the stuff that just comes out of my mouth when I'm talking to you. Sometimes I'm like, where the heck? And so even that is sometimes out of my comfort zone. Being, for me, the big one is shutting my mouth so that I can listen and acknowledge someone else's things without inserting my opinion about how they should feel it, because I'm not there. Who cares? It's how you feel it. So that is, for me, the big muscle that I have to practice. That's out of my comfort zone. It doesn't have to be something crazy and fun that's out of your comfort zone. It's practicing something that doesn't always make you comfortable, but that you know that you need to do. Okay.
Yep.
Don't practice something uncomfortable that's unhealthy. Like, that's silly.
Right. And so the whole purpose of us doing this is for, we both have programs coming up in January, and we're hoping to recruit some people. This is all free that we're doing in November. January will be our paid membership, and we are hoping to work together to create more synergy in the wellness field. And it's not just, wellness isn't just working out, right? It isn't just eating right. It is taking care of yourself spiritually, energetically, emotionally, and really addressing those types of things in order to make everything else easier. If you're the person who used to take on something really challenging in January and drift away in 3 weeks, try our approach. Our approach is about making it easier, not swimming upstream, but just going with the current and being curious. And that is the other thing that we would really encourage you to do when you're doing the stepping outside of your comfort zone. Be curious. What's holding you back? Whose voice is telling you you can't do something? Whose voice is telling you it's silly or ridiculous? Who is that? Let's break through some barriers.
I know letting go was last week, but it's kind of tying into, you and I have been doing this energy work now for a few months together, trying to help other people. And in the process, we help ourselves. And I just lost the focus on what my thought was. There went my air in my head. But the whole point of that is that it doesn't have to be difficult to do the things that you want to do in January, like lose weight and eat healthier. As you start to work on that energy and you start to let go of that baggage, you start to realize how much that actually carried weight. And it actually
slows you down.
And it actually shows up, because all weight is gravity pulling you to the earth. And so you step on a scale and it says weight. And so as you start to release this baggage, it becomes easier not to eat the junk, because so much of what we eat is tied to our emotion. And I know you'll talk about this, but so with you'll have your program that's working on that nutrition and that fitness, but if we're doing the energy work and we're tapping into our intuition, and that's where I know you'll do some of that with your program. I want to help enhance that with my program, where we're tapping into that intuition, we're paying more attention to our bodies, and we're really just taking a moment to listen, because really it's telling us what we need to know. And if we tap into that in November and we start to clear out some of that internal clutter, so that we can then like actually find that comfort zone to step over it, like it's going to be so powerful in January.
Just prep for January, people. It's prep. And if you feel like you can't look that far ahead, just stay in the moment right now and just do the journaling or the
Yep.
external processing or this processing of what
How can you have
what
more
is your
fun?
comfort zone and how to get out of it. Be curious, have fun with it, laugh at yourself, have fun. Have fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I love it too. All right. Beautiful. I can't wait for next week. Next week, again, we are going to, Terri and I will be back together. And next week, we're going to talk about that clearing out that energy and setting those boundaries, AKA your shit sandwich. So I cannot wait to talk about
Shit
that one.
sandwich. Oh, I can't wait to talk about that.
So
No, it's not the latest health food thing, I promise. It's an energy thing.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much for joining, guys. It's good to see everybody.
Thank you. And we will see you next week.